day. This is Natasha from Sakura Art. Today I am going to do a video where I am showing you my journal kits that is going to a market by the end of November at our local market in our town. So I'm gonna show you two different types of journal kits that I made for this market. That it's smaller than your bigger journal, so it's just a small journal kit. I think that's how you can say it. Okay, so I've got two different journal kits that will be there at the market. The one will look like this. This is my big journal kit, and this is my smaller journal kit. So I just call this my starter kit, and this is my feel good kit. Okay, so but first I am going through my journal kit, my starter kit. I call it a starter kit because it does have like kind of, if you are scared and you don't want to start with a big journal, you can start with a smaller pocket journal. So this is how it would look like at the market, and this is my example that that I've made, that to remind myself what I must put in and all the things. So for the cover, let me just take everything out. For the cover of this journal, I actually took book paper that I paste on an A4, a white A4 paper, and I paste it on, and then I decorate it with butterflies that I just print out black and white butterflies. So I didn't add color in because I do want to have that kind of I think a book feel to it. But anyway, so, and then this was in our Ideas magazine. It's principles that I usually put in your magazine, that in the Ideas magazines that you can use for anything that you want. Anyway, so this, I can't even remember when I got this, but I remember it was in the Ideas magazine, and I just print out all the stuff, and I just paste it on the paper. I think I've got an original paper here that I use. So this is my original design. Some of my butterflies are off, that I just print, copy and print. So this I've made by myself, so it's kind of my own design. And then this is the inside of the journal. So I did 3 different types of covers. So as you can see, this one's got a bigger frame on it, and then there's one with a smaller frame, and like this one, it's got like a crown frame, sorry, not a flame, a frame that I just pasted on. So there's different colors. There's blue, there's brown, yellow, green, and pink. So it's got all that shades. And then what I have done is to use different shades of browns, and I think I used gold water paint, and I just paint on some square shapes just to give that just to round it off, to make it more colorful, to make it more interesting. So I just add and then I add my trusty gel pen just to do some of the blocks, and then to let it make it more prominent, to stand more out. So that is what I've done for the covers of my journal kit. So with this, why I've done it like this is so that you can use this this cover as part in your journal. So or in different journals if you have different journals, so you can always reuse the cover into something. You can cut it out, or you can paste it in, or do anything, any idea. Okay, so inside this journal kit is a few things. Okay, so I add 2 envelopes in. I think I've got like a thing where I have everything, and I don't know. It's quite messy inside the studio, but I've got two envelopes, one big, one small, and yeah. So inside this journal or this envelope that you can also use in a journal, I just did some printouts or cutouts, and then some words, and then just some journal book paper that I use from old book paper that I cut it into smaller pieces, and then you can use it. So journal paper, some line paper, and just some book paper. So I add that in, and also some colorful scrapbooking paper. So that's inside this envelope, and I just use some of the paper that are you know, cut-offs of your paper. So I try to reuse or to use everything that I am working on. So as you can see in here, I've got some paper that I cut into strips that I'm going to use in my when I'm doing the smaller kit. So anyway, so yeah, so I use that just to keep everything together. Sometimes I don't want to use a lot of ribbons or twine to round it off, but or to make it neat, so I will use book paper. And then I print out the black butterflies, like I said, like the same, just to keep that in with the theme. And then I went over with water metallic water paint from Montmartre. So I just went over and I glue a diamond dot, one, you know, that stuff from diamond dots. So I've got a lot of that, and I just a charm, so I just add that on. And then for the smaller one, I think this one is glued, but inside here there is also some die cuts, some butterflies, clusters. So I add clusters inside there. Clusters is when you use paper and you just cluster a few papers together and you staple and you add it with a die cut or with a, you embellish it. So I use that, and I don't want to actually open it. Maybe I can try to, oh wait, let's go. And I use some texture paper, some, as you can see, texture paper is a lot of things. The, dictionary paper that I add in, some texture paper, and more printouts or more what you call embellishments and die cuts or to decorate your journal, some journal cards, and then some just some words, and then the washi tape that I add. So as you can see inside the washi tape, there's, it will be some decorated with, I think it's leaves. So with this I laminated this card, so you can use this card as a ruler to draw lines. So yeah, multi-purpose. And then I just add washi to it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get it all back now. And then for my smaller journals, I made like a, I think it's an A5, no, smaller than A6 journal that's got a tiny journal. So it's ideal to it's actually nice to put it inside your handbag if you need to, or your school bag or whatever, to have it kind of handy. So it's got two paper clips in. So like I said, sorry, I use laminated pockets, and I laminated flowers with just some information like throw kindness around, like confetti or nice words. And then I use charms that I use out of beads, and some charms that I add together to give the paper clip just some interesting, so it isn't like a normal paper clip, so you have something different in your paper clip. And then a hidden paper clip that you can, that is hidden, if you understand. Yeah, so I add that in, and then it's just a normal I think it's 20 pages. It's got 20 pages on, and I use texture paper or paper mache to do the cover of this journal. So inside this journal, because this is a new journal, this is just my example that I'm using. This one is a little bit different. So I use this time, I use like this, and I use book lined paper. That is from a normal book, just to have that lined paper, and I add that inside with scrapbooking paper as my cover. But it also got 20 pages in. So this is for my example of what is inside here. I think this is a little bit different inside. Yeah, I'm going to try to open it. I think it's a little bit different. I can't remember. And I think so. So this is the blue one. This will be at the local market. I use some brown twine to open it. I think with the previous one I use it is different. I used ribbon, but I don't want to do ribbon again, so I want to do something different. So as you can see, I use a different type of envelope in this journal, but this got washi tape in and some seals and some stickers. So it is a little bit difference between the two, and here it's got a little bit more of the lined paper, more of the scrapbooking paper and the texture paper. It's got that in. And then where I use the black butterflies inside my journal, I print out the color butterflies. And so this is just the journal, the small pocket journal. I still use the hidden paper clip, and then that you can remove. And then I asked Dina to make some tassels for my paper clips, so I just add that in. So as you can see, it is kind of a little bit different than the previous one. And then I didn't add the pocket like the brown one. I add a pocket in so you can put your journal paper in, or your journal inside there. I didn't do it like that. So I just use a twine that I think it's a string to keep it all together. And then obvious, I use that to close it. Okay, so for my business cards, I didn't use the normal business card. I didn't print out business cards. So what I've done, I just print out all my business, my name, and from my business, and I just printed out the logo, and then all my pages and all my information. And then I actually water painted some different business cards with different pictures on, and I'm using that, so you can have like a mini painting that you can take home with you. Okay, so for my journal, for my mini journals kit, or my feel good kit, I'm gonna kind of assembly it here on the video, so you can see the process of what I've done, so you can just follow along and yeah, to make it yourself. So what I have done is use this type, I think this is where you can actually, this pocket or this sheet, or let's call it a pocket, is for where you can put in sweets, or they usually use it like to put sweets or food or anything that in. Like I said, journaling for me is all about recycling. So my mom gave me a few years back a lot of this pockets, so I'm going to use this as my because I've got so much, I'm going to use this as my envelope or my pocket. Okay, so what I have done is to use some old book paper and I just rip it to have it in the corners, and I pasted that on the corners. And then my wonderful mom came and she helped me to, because she have a machine to do it. So she went over with her machine. Suddenly I can't remember the word. An naaldwerk machine. I can't remember now speaking Afrikaans. Maar her naaldwerk machine. She went over with a machine to do the sides for me, and just to make it nice, to look, to give it some more character. So I asked her to do that for me. So she actually came and did this for me. And then I have two different things that or not things, but things that is going to be inside here. So inside here, it's got like normal paper, some dictionary paper, different types of dictionary paper. Like for this one is, I think one is Italian and the other one is Portuguese, I think, that I add in. And then some poetry paper that was in an old poetry book that I add in. And then I've got some texture paper, some scrapbooking paper, some note paper. And then I actually took stamps and I stamped out like a month and day, so you can use it in your journal. Just some stamp that I think is very nice. And then I did what I call the feel good journals, or not feel good kit. Okay, so that's why I said it's a feel good kit. So what I did is I took out some of my favorite affirmations, some different affirmations, and I actually went and I made on the computer, I made blocks, and inside there I use like a typewriter script, or a typewriter. Now I can't remember the words, but anyway, so I use that font, a typewriter font, to print, to type on some of my favorite affirmations, and like go through what you go through. So I printed out, I cut it, and we made we all put it together, and then we went over with the machine with it. And then so what you can do is just rip that out, so it will have like a nice, just do something different. So I add that in. So this is where actually the feel good will come in for you. So when you are feeling a little bit down, you can actually go like, this is Psalm 23 verse 3. You can just rip that out, put it in your journal, or put it somewhere where you feel like in your planner or wherever, and you paste it, or you put it in your wallet or somewhere, and this will, just to make you feel a little bit better. Okay, so this I already done. And then I used a twine to bind it, or a string to bind that. I'm just going to put it there because we're going to use it now. So for my, let me just get some glue, and then there it is. Okay, so for my, I'm just going to add some glue there, a small little bit. For my next bundle that I actually add in my journal, let me just wipe that out because I use this as my thing. What I'm going to do is I've got some ephemera that I'm going to add in. It's like a postcard that you can use in your journal, a frame, some seals, die cuts, and then this is words. It's dictionary words, like notebook, a small book with a blank or root pages for writing notes in. I don't know, dictionary notes that you can actually add in. So what I've done, I print out two different papers. One's got a different background. Let me see if I can get this background. So I just use this as a background, and I print out all this frames, and then I just cut it out. So you can have that inside your journal. And then this is some paper that you can cut that out, and then you can use that to put in your journal to have small sentences or words that you can put in. So what I've done is to make like that. There, sorry. And then just use, okay, there, and then I use a butterfly. And I add that in, and then for this one I am going to use this butterfly, and I just place it on the string, and now I'm going to put that inside the pocket. Okay. Then for my for my paper clip, I'm going to use 2 different paper clips. So that this is also a laminated, so what yeah, a laminated one. That one is a little bit crooked. Where is that? Let me just get some. I'm looking for it. Anyway, okay, so these things now, remember the words that's inside the pocket that I put in that bundle. So I just cut out some of those sentences, and like think happy, be happy, and I laminated with some leaves and then a die cut flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm using a gaatjie ponser. In Afrikaans we call it a gaatjie ponser, but I'm going to use a hole puncher, and then a paper clip, and then a charm. So I try to go with the colors, but sometimes different colors, it's more fun to have different colors in. Okay. Just I add that in, and obvious I'm going to add that, and then and this is that tassel paper clip that Dina made for me, and then I'm just going to add a business card, because you try to, you know, get your business there, but a business card that I water paint, and I just add that in. Then I add that together, and then for my, and then I add it inside there, inside the pocket, and then obvious I'm going to fold it. So to decorate the pocket, I use another butterfly to go with the butterfly theme, and then I'm actually looking for my papers. Oh, here's it. So I've got this ones that I am especially using for this. Let me just cut off there and there. So I'm going to choose one that's got like a full length of sentences in. So it says, when you love what you have everything you need. I don't know what you call it, affirmations, but anyway, so I'm going to put that in there. There you go. So I kind of like that the butterfly wings are a little bit loose. It just gives a very nice, you know, it's kind of ready to fly off feel to it. And then I am looking for, so I use a sheet of old book paper, and then I'm just going to rip it. It's a lot of ripping, and I rip the sides. Okay, so obviously you want it close, so I just go like this. obvious I try to go, I use the opposite sides. So I use that in, and then, yeah. So because my mom is a superstar, she decided it looks a little bit empty. So she made me, so just paste that on. She made me this tiny little roses that I am going to add to my, like this, with some white glue, and it's going to stick. So this is how I have done my journal kits for the market. It is kind of simple, but it's fun for me to make it. Sometimes you don't want to have a lot of things, just a few things, and something small, especially if you start with journaling. You don't want things too big, or to be overwhelmed with your journal. So obvious at the back you can kind of see some of the things, but yeah. So anyway, so this is what I am going to do for my journal kits for the market, and it's easy peasy. So as you can see, here's another one. So I'm just gonna add it like this, so you can see. Sorry about the mess around my table, but if you work, you work. Okay, anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video about how I am doing my journal kits. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much.